I'm recording now.
Sheets.
Yeah, you need character sheets. Okay, so welcome back to Curse of Strahd. It's been a little while. It's been a minute. It's been a hot minute. But we are here and we're ready to pick up where we left off on. I'm going to ask that skill testing question of all of you, beginning with Iris. What do you remember from last session?
I was sitting in Monk's room. And I've uprooted my entire life and moved since then, so I gotta be honest, not a lot.
Fair.
I know
That's fair.
that's not a great answer, but that's where my life is at, so maybe somebody else.
All right, moving down the list to Drezek.
So, we met a woman on the side of the road who sells drug-laced sweets that we're going to eat later on and party, but our little party and trip to town was interrupted by attack by a very powerful vampire, and now Mesker's a vampire, and we must either cleanse him of his lycanthropy or kill him.
So is he a vampire or a werewolf?
Werewolf.
Can you be, side question, can you be a vampire and a werewolf?
I don't think
Only
so.
if you're the special one from the underworld.
I don't know, DM, can you be?
I think Vecna is a vampire werewolf.
Lich. Vampire, werewolf, lich. Demigod.
Zombie.
All of the above. Also,
Let's
we
just
don't
go
know
first.
if Mesker he was
No,
bitten,
we don't, but
we
we
don't
are
know
assuming he is.
that. Yeah, we don't know that. Okay, anything else?
Weren't there zombies?
That was in the previous
Okay, yeah. See, that's how good my head is right now.
No, it's all good. Okay. Love, anything that you recall from last session since you have your little notebook?
Star pupil, teacher's pet.
Well, she is sleeping with the DM.
As she screws on a knitting needle and doesn't have her notebook open.
You guys hear ambience, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Oh, need to turn ambience on.
Apparently I didn't transfer last session's notes to my notebook, so no.
Okay. All right then.
They're in the other notebook.
Did I ask Unk what he
I
thought
see.
happened last session?
Nope, you didn't.
Yes, you did. He said he doesn't know.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He asked about zombies. Remember, that was like 45 seconds ago.
Oh, I do see some notes over there.
Devoted. We met
Don't-
an Oathsworn.
Don't read the wrong notes.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Was the Oathsworn the last one? Yes, because we met him after the drugged cupcake lady. We have to seek out Godford Ghulam for the Order of the Revenant. And
we
had a
have to
heart-to-heart with him.
Buy a present for Arabelle on her name day, which is 2 days from now.
Excellent.
Morgantha was the old woman selling drugs.
That's right.
Oh wait, no. The Order is our revenants. So they're the Order of the Silver Dragon. So we have to go seek out the Order of the Silver Dragon. Once we get to Vallaki.
Crane,
Is
as
what
a
I have for my
reminder,
notes.
can you do Morgantha's voice again?
I can't just summon it. I have to just think about it. I'm a method actor. I have to really get into it, you know?
I just need to hear the voice.
I mean, we're the players. We completely fuck his night and just go visit now.
True.
You guys could, if you wanted to do that. Just let me just throw everything off my desk. That's fine. You can't see this right now, but I am just sweeping my desk clean.
We did it to Iris. Might as well do it to you.
That's
So
right.
I've got a couple other things in my notes that I found. They're taking silver from travelers at the gates of Vallaki, so we probably need to hide all our silver. There was a whole thing with Irina in the water, or in the lake, and she sees a dream from a lake. She's with her dream that she talked about previously. Into drew a really nice drawing of
I
a
do remember that.
3-pointed thingy.
Yeah, I was really impressed by that.
I've got a picture of it.
Oh yeah, the 3-pointed star that
Yeah.
not a star.
Or like a tricorn or something.
Yeah. A tricorn.
And then there was the dude on the bridge. I seriously have like 3 pages of notes. I don't know how I did this on my laptop, but I'm kind of impressed with past self.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I think those were the most important things, though.
Also, I've got in my notes that we found a hidden cache. One of the items in it was a silver bracelet set with gemstones. Don't know if that's
That
important.
was from Irina's stash, and a couple of sessions ago.
Yeah,
that was not last session.
But silver bracelet, and they're collecting silver at the gate. Don't know if that's going to help us or what.
No, we didn't find it. She has it. We should just make sure the old lady who the Morgantha had told us about the silver. She just said if we had it hidden and not like out and visible, it'd probably be fine. They're not like going to search us or anything. So we just need to make sure any silver's like in our bags or, under clothing or whatever.
And we just got out of a fight. Is everybody okay? Everybody okay?
Mostly.
37 out of 40.
One of us is a werewolf.
How close to death are you? As in, do we need to short rest or can we keep going?
Who?
You. Somebody.
Oh, I'm 45 out of 52. I'm good.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I am a little short on spell slots, so it'd be good to like get there and.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you guys have recalled a significant.
Oh, he's still here?
Oh,
I will say everybody should still have aid. Whoever I casted that on, because I cast it once at the beginning of the day.
Good call. Check.
I am pulling up your guys' hit point maximums
Yep.
here so I can follow along.
Showing a 41 max hit point, which is definitely using aid.
Excellent.
That's a really good spell.
It is.
It's like a pre-healing.
Okay. Pre-campaign, pre-session chatter, all done. Anything else you guys remember or want to discuss before we jump into it?
Nope.
Alrighty
so.
then. As the early signs of dusk begin to descend around you, signaled in part by the lengthening shadows of the Svalich woods, you gather your battle-worn selves, nursing wounds from the ferocious werewolf attack that had just tested the extent of your combined mettle. With Irina safely by your side, you cast a longing gaze towards Vallaki up ahead, a welcome refuge from the encroaching darkness and danger posed by a night spent in the wilds of Barovia. Ismark's plea echoes in your minds, urging you to deliver Irina to the safety of Vallaki's walls and the potential refuge of St. Andrew's Church. For one of the party, a certain note feels a bit heavier. And, despite the urgency of your mission, the lingering words of Madame Ava haunt your thoughts. Her cryptic clues revealed by the Taraka cards, whispering of destinies intertwined, the ever-looming threat that is Count Strahd von Zarovich. With each step forward, the weight of destiny and the specter of Strahd's looming shadow presses upon your weary souls, driving you ever closer to the heart of darkness that grips this forsaken land. Okay, you are in the Svalis Roads on the road here. We are just finishing this encounter. Alberedo here shows you guys sort of where we left off. You indicated that you didn't need to rest up. If there's anything you want to do prior to transitioning to the road, the travel map, let me know.
We checked all the we checked the werewolf for anything of value, right?
Don't remember.
As I recall, you searched the werewolf, and I don't believe there was anything on him.
Oh wait, there was that bag of 60 platinum.
Forgot about the bag of 60 platinum. Thank you for
And the
reminding me
potion
that.
of cure lycanthropy. Or is it lycanthropy? Lycanthropy.
I think it's lycanthropy.
Yeah, I
Who
think
says
so.
it needs to be cured?
Yeah, we don't
Good
know.
point.
Yeah, a cursory search of the humanoid male that lies before you, freshly slain, would reveal just tattered clothing, the wounds that were present on it just from having been slain by the lot of you, but also a curious wound on its side that was not inflicted by you, but appears raw and bloodied. Um, Something unhealed, untended to, persistent.
Yep. Off we go.
As in the one that turned him into a werewolf? Is that what you're insinuating?
Potentially.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that was in the book, if I recall.
Yeah, I thought so as well.
Anything else you want to do here before you transition?
Nope.
Okay.
I just check and make sure I don't have any exposed silver.
Is there anything you'd like to articulate to me about what you're going to do about that?
I'm gonna make sure that I don't have any exposed silver.
Same. Let me look through my inventory to see if I even have anything that's silver.
I think
Like I
some
do
of
have a
us
silvered short sword, so I'll wrap the hilt in I don't know, in a strip of cloth or something. You know,
think
like
some
they
of
do,
us
how
had
they wrap
silver
up weapons.
bolts. Like that.
Yeah.
The only silver I have on me is 3 silver pieces.
I'm going to slip my 17 silver in my boot.
Seeing Ento's character do that, I will do the same with whatever silver I've got.
Okay.
Doesn't say I have any silver bolts or anything like that. So
This is a big map, so.
The item that you had given me is silver-like, so I will tuck it under my clothing so it's not visible.
Is that the Morticulus Colloquium,
Yes.
if I recall
Easy for
correctly?
you to say.
God bless you.
That is why I said the item you had given me.
this is the second time through saying it, so
Had some practice.
he wasn't as eloquent with it the first time. Just so you know, he's human. Yeah, it's pretty black there, love.
Yeah, I see that.
Oh, I see now. Just reloaded it. It came in big city, big town.
It blipped for a second and now it's
Yep,
gone
and
again.
now it's not. Yep.
Yeah, the Spectres is for some reason not loading the way it should. This happened with William's computer as well on the last playthrough, and I'm not sure why. Yeah, I didn't though. I'm just gonna reload things here. Is that working now? I'll need
Nope.
to do that next time.
Oh wait, I see a little bit of map on the
Oh yeah, it's like way
on the right
zoomed
side.
out.
Yeah, you'll have
Yeah.
to zoom in. You'll have to zoom in. Alrighty.
There we go. Okay, got it.
The old Svalich Road meanders into a valley watched over by dark, brooding mountains to the north and south. The woods recede, revealing a sullen mountain berg surrounded by a wooden palisade. Thick fog presses up against the wall, as though looking for a way inside, hoping to catch the town aslumber. The dirt road ends at a set of sturdy iron gates with a pair of shadowy figures standing behind them. Planted in the ground and flanking the road outside the gates are a half-dozen pikes with wolves' heads impaled on them. More than a dozen ramshackle tents have been set up against the palisade wall. Among them, dozens of ragged, emaciated people mill about or sit by low burning campfires and bedrolls, their hollow gazes watching silently as you approach from down the road. Some of them regard Irina with dull recognition, but none lift a hand in greeting or make any gesture of warmth. So just so that we're clear, these sullen-looking people, these refugees, are in this direction over here. You can see them sort of between the outskirts of these houses. Yeah, kind of like a ramshackle collection of tents.
So while we're walking, Drezek reaches down and picks up a stick. Says, "Hey, Mesker,
Yeah.
you want the stick? You want the stick, boy?" Shakes it at him and throws it. Nothing? Good. That was a test.
Does he pass the test?
He passed the test.
I mean, I feel like the real test is whether or not he decides to like hit you or something.
Yeah. Or whether he's got a wound that doesn't heal. That's probably the better test.
Well, guess we
Let's
are we gonna
mosey
go
on
talk to
into
the
town.
refugees or just gonna head on into town?
I don't want to talk to any refugees.
So I will say that as soon as Dave, as soon as you see the refugees, as soon as Irina sees the refugees, you can see a change in her demeanor. She becomes heartbroken, almost angry at the sight of these tents kind of huddled together outside the gates, not inside the gates. And she turns to you and she says, "You go on up ahead. Must speak with my people. If you find lodgings, I promise to find you later. I hear the Blue Water Inn is really the only place to stay in Vallaki."
Well, I don't know if it's a good idea. She should be alone.
I promise to join you later.
I mean, our mission was to get you here, and we're not here yet.
What do you need to talk to them about?
I must see how they are doing. They've traveled here to Vallaki, and they are outside the gates. They're not even permitted inside, it seems. I must speak to them. They are my people.
Should we follow her?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure what's his face meant, inside the safety of the gates. So
Yeah,
I
kind of
don't
what
think
I was
outside
thinking.
counts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's her own woman.
Still,
All right, let's go see the tents. At least see that they're not gonna
make sure she's safe there.
Mm-hmm.
attack her because they're angry.
So Irina is walking up ahead, and just ahead of you, Cora and Drezek, and I assume Elanil, you're heading up as well. Yeah.
And Mesker wants nothing to do with it.
Yeah. And she starts speaking with these two refugees who appear to be kind of milling out at the beginning, the sort of the outskirts of this larger camp, and speaking sort of initially in hushed voices. But as you approach Drez and Cora, you can hear that the two refugees aren't really happy to see her. Their disposition seems almost a combination between disinterest and spiteful. And just as you come within earshot, you can hear the older male sort of spit off to his side and say, look at what the leadership of Ismark the Lesser got us. Living in a tent like animals. And Irina seems visibly upset by this.
And what is she doing? Is she talking to them? Is she staring at them? What's she doing?
This is just the exchange that's happening right now. Is you kind of come on the tail end, and she kind of looks to them and kind of wants to say something, but feels sort of kind of overwhelmed by the emotion of the moment, especially the use of her brother's name and that moniker, the Lesser. She seems sort of broken at that last bit.
I mean, animals don't live in tents, but they know how to feed themselves.
Is this Elanil saying this out loud?
Yes, it is.
Feed ourselves. What is there to eat out here? We are harassed by wolves every night. There is nothing to eat. The guards barely give us scraps from their garbage heaps.
Do you not go into the woods and parties to feed yourselves?
In parties to feed ourselves. We have sick, we have wounded here. The woods are a death sentence.
Why won't they let you inside?
They say we are a threat to the town, to their good order. The Baron likes his town the way it is, and perhaps we are a reminder of what it is to be outside those walls.
Is there anything we can do to help the situation?
Do you have a healer? We have wounded here.
I have the ability to heal a little. What, let me see your, I guess, the person who needs healing the most.
So at that, he just stops and he immediately walks into this tent over here, expecting you to follow.
I'll follow.
I also have an herbalism kit and good medicine, I think. So I'll go as well.
Okay. If you enter the tent, it's a pretty roughshod sort of tent. In it, you're going to see cots. There's about 6 people inside, 3 to one side, 3 to the other, and they all have various injuries on them. The largest amount, like what you're seeing as far as injuries, is lacerations, abrasions, but mostly like what appears to be bite marks and scrapes, and like almost like wild animals have been like attacking and like, you know, injuring these people. Some of them have been bandaged pretty roughly, not by anybody with any kind of skill. It's very clear, just Cora and Elanil, if you've got good medicine, it's very clear just on your appraisal walking in that an amateur tried to tend to the wounds, but the bandages are soaking through. It looks like maybe infection is starting to set in on a couple of them. And more importantly, actually, go ahead, both of you roll me a medicine check.
I will give myself guidance as well.
Sure.
Never mind the medicine. The guidance isn't going to help any.
I get to re-roll, right, because of Iris?
You do.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Mother of God.
Yeah, so yeah,
They're wounded.
They're wounded. There seems to be something about the situation that is nagging at you. That they're potentially there's another problem that needs to be addressed, but you're not really quite certain what it is.
So you said they look like animal wounds
Yes,
and lacerations and stuff.
that's correct.
Do they look like something werewolf-y that could have caused them at all? Just given by our recent experience with Mesker.
It's pretty difficult to tell just by like glancing at them. You would need a comparison, probably like more experience or a direct comparison to really see if there are werewolf like injuries there. Werewolves always have a bigger maw, but when you get bit by something, you're not really necessarily getting a full bite. Sometimes you might have a glancing bite. It's kind of difficult to tell. You can try with a roll if you'd like. And
could I call Mesker in and compare it to his?
I'm not sure. Mesker, have you disclosed the fact that you've been bitten?
What just happened? Did I connect and disconnect?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
I didn't hear anything. But that also happened to me. I've been having that problem with Discord a lot lately.
That was so weird.
Was it like a bring bring?
Well, Iris said, "Can I call Mesker?" Boo-ba-doo. And then boo-ba-doo.
God isn't listening to us.
Call Mesker. No, it didn't work.
Damn.
Wait, my phone's ringing. This is Mesker.
Could you come in the tent, please?
Just
I haven't
for
disclosed anything.
So
Okay,
for a point
so
of
I don't
clarity,
know.
you guys
Okay,
don't
fair
know
enough.
that he was bitten full on. I don't think anybody was around when you were bitten, were they? Everyone was kind of off dealing with Irina?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So you just have wounds on you. They don't look to be obviously werewolf wounds.
Okay. So I don't know that Mesker has that, so I'm not gonna be suspicious then.
Guess we're just going to clean and bandage them as best we can, which apparently is piss
Well-
poor because I rolled an 8 and you rolled a 6.
If you
I
combine
have-
all three of your rolls, you might have made the DC check.
Maybe.
I have a spell that I can use, but it will be my last bigger spell for the day. How many of them are there?
6.
Probably okay.
Perfect. I am going to cast Prayer of Healing on them. Up to 6 creatures of your choice that you can see within range each gain hit points equal to 2d8 plus your spellcasting modifier. The spell has no effect on undeads or constructs.
Damn, that's a good spell.
Yeah, it's one of my big ones. So
Hell of a
I will
spell.
be tapped out except for baby spells after
What is
that.
that? 2d8 plus 4?
Sorry?
2d8 plus 4? Is that what the?
No, it was 2d. Hold on, let me go back to it. 2d8 plus. What is my spellcasting modifier? 7.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
So they're gonna be healed. If they're werewolves, it's not gonna do any good because
Yeah.
they're werewolves. But I'll go ahead and roll that.
Are you saying werewolves can't?
So they get 15 health points each.
Yes, these are commoners as far as like a stat block are concerned. So that is more than adequate to heal them. So as your cast, what does it look like? Is it like a divine channeling? Is that your skill?
I'm gonna say it's instantaneous. It's not channeled. I'm gonna say it's very golden glowy though, and maybe there's a little bit of not a noise, but a little bit of staticky in the air, with lightning or something like that. You can feel the holy power as I pray to my god and cast healing.
Okay, so it's quite visual and
Yeah.
also something that you can hear and feel maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you perform this miracle, because that's kind of what it's going to look like to a lot of these people, you can look around, and maybe as you're focusing, Cora, Elanil, as you're looking around, you can actually see all of these wounds on these injured refugees. They're just knitting up on their own, almost like you're watching a time lapse of a wound heal in real time. the skin just closing and knitting and not even leaving a scar, just perfectly healed, healthy pink flesh. Yeah, basically everything that was wrong with these 6 people in terms of an injury are healed, are cured, and you can see a look of relief just pass over everyone that was previously injured, and some of them almost drift off into a restful sleep for the first time perhaps in a number of days. The old man there watching this, his jaw just hits the floor as he sees you do this, completely gobsmacked at what he just witnessed. I have never seen anything of the like before. What are you?
I'm a cleric of Lathander. He's known here as the Morning Lord. Is that right?
Yep, that's right. Yep.
Okay,
The Morning Lord. Father Donovich is of the Morning Lord, and I have never seen the like. And,
he blesses us all in his own way.
That much is true. And he looks out towards Irina, who's sort of still hanging out there, kind of feeling a little bit almost disenfranchised, like she's causing more harm than good by trying to ingrain herself here with the group. He looks at Irina and then looks back at the 2 of you, and he says, kind of in a whisper, "And you travel with Irina Kuliana?"
We do.
And what of the village?
What do you mean?
How fares the village?
It is struggling to deal with everything that has happened, but still stands.
He kind of nods, satisfied at hearing that. I cannot repay you for what you have done. We are poor here. We have no money, no coin. But if there's anything that you need or anything that you need to know, we are at your service.
I didn't do it for payment, but information would be good on just the town and what we can expect during our stay here.
Vallaki is a different sort of town. You may have experienced some hospitality at Barovia, but you'll be hard-pressed to find it from the Baron and his louts. They run a tight ship in there. Lawbreakers, they disappear. People who cause problems, they're in the stocks or they're just gone. Keep your head clear of the guards and do not draw attention to yourselves. He also mentions that you may wish to not speak openly against the Baron. That there appears to be some political issues in the town. There appears to be some political upheaval kind of simmering below the surface. That's what he's been able to kind of learn just by hanging out and listening to the guards. And that, it's a safe place to be, but just tread carefully and, try not to make any enemies when you're in the town. And then he also mentions that the Blue Water Inn is where you're going to want to head for lodgings and food.
The side quest with the doll, are we supposed to take it somewhere in particular? Can I ask for directions?
Go ahead and ask what you want to ask.
I'm trying to remember. We're supposed to buy a doll from somewhere?
Yeah, it's in the. I think I put it in the Curse of Strahd. I put it in something. I think.
It's a
I know
toy
it's
store.
I know it's in my notes, but
It's like Toys R Us or something like that.
I couldn't remember if there was something specific we were supposed to go to, or.
Really, we can also ask the guards, right? Like, they might not know because they haven't been in town, so.
It's true, but these guys like us, so they're gonna give us any sort of info that they have, probably.
Yeah, it seems like that bit of healing that you did, whatever ill will that they had because you were traveling with Irina has been completely reversed. They are 100% on team devoted Torchbugs.
Do you,
Madam Ava asked us to get a toy from Belinsky Toys for her niece Arabelle. She likes unique dolls from the toy store. She lives at the Vistani camp in Vallaki. Get it to her by the end of her 10th name date, and that was 2 days' time, whenever that was.
This morning.
Was
Would
that
have been
this morning? Okay.
Yep.
So I will ask for directions to the Vistani camp as well as the toy store. And if they don't know, like, that's fine. But no reason not to ask.
The guards talk of a encampment to the southwest. I'm not sure where exactly that is, but it's to the southwest. Perhaps that is the encampment you're looking for. And everyone in Barovia knows of Blinsky Toys. He's a famous toy maker in Vallaki.
So he'll be easy to find.
I've never been to Vallaki myself, but I'm sure if you ask for directions from somebody who's from the town, I'm sure they could direct you to where you need to go.
That's fair. I'm sorry, I put my foot in my mouth a little bit there. You said he's famous. Is it famous just for the quality of the toys, or is there something special about them?
I think he's the only toy maker in Barovia. That might be it. He has the whole market.
That's fair. Anything else you think we should know about just the town in general, or our stay here, or Barovia, for that matter?
Let me just read my notes here and see what else he would share with you.
does he have any friends inside the wall?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. If anyone else has questions to ask too, like, jump in.
I don't know anyone from Vallaki. We are Barovians. We rarely travel to Vallaki, if at all. The only thing else I can say is there was one time we tried to breach the gates by force when we first got here, and the guards summoned a man they called Izek, and he had a twisted devil's arm, and he conjured fire, and he drove us back to our tents. And from then we have not even tried to enter the town.
Sorry, he had a twisted devil's arm? Is that what you said?
That's what he said, yeah.
Izek?
Izek. You would think it would be spelled I-Z-E-K.
I've got
I did.
I-Z-Z-I-K.
I-Z-E-K, but I like your spelling. That's
I did
nice.
I-S-S-I-K, so, you know.
Izek.
Also wrong. I can't think of anything else. If nobody else jumps in, I will say thank you for your time. We'll be in Vallaki a little bit. If there are more injured or you need help, maybe send a message to me. I know you can't go through the gates, but if there's a way you can get a message in, I'll be happy to do what I can.
He nods his head in thanks, and he says, "We may have given Irina a bit of a tough time earlier. If there's anything you can do to get us inside the town, that would be appreciated."
If I see an opportunity to help, I will.
And he nods his
DM,
head.
are we close enough to hear this?
Yeah, I'll say you're close enough. Yeah, they're just at the entrance to the tent, and you're probably like 20 feet away. They're not talking.
I need to have a conversation with Drezek.
Okay. Do you need to have a private conversation?
No. So I wandered away from this because I knew exactly how it was going to go. I fought in many battles, many wars. I know what happens with refugees. But let me guess, it's all her fault. Dressek's asleep.
Her fault as in Irina's fault?
Right, that's what they're saying. It's all her fault.
Oh, I'm
They're
sure.
lot in life now.
I'm sure they think so, but
Okay.
they're outside the town. We need to go in. That's I think we're done here.
I'm gonna raise my voice and ask who's in charge.
Of the refugee camp or of the, town?
Of the refugee camp.
Boris was in charge, but he died 3 days ago. And that's the old man speaking up, looking at Mesker.
So then it's you now?
He kind of looks at himself and looks around, and he's like, No.
I've decided it's you. Come here.
Kind of slowly shuffles his feet forward.
So, where did you live before here?
In the village of Barovia.
Okay. So, in the village of Barovia, it must have been really nice every morning when you woke up to Irina in your house cooking you breakfast. It was after she shoed your horses and cleaned your house and took care of everything for you. That must have been really, really nice for you, right?
He looks genuinely confused at what it is that you're saying. And he looks over at Irina, wondering if maybe she knows what's going on. And Irina kind of blushes and looks down. Kind of maybe has figured out the line of questioning that you're taking. But the old man doesn't.
So, as I look around this camp, I see no fires. I see no way to protect yourself. Should Irina go out in the woods right now and chop you down some trees and make it so you can build a fire for yourselves? How long have you been here? Have you been here long enough to maybe have built yourself some escarpments? Or have you just sat out here?
What's an escarpment?
You know what a wall is. You can build a wall. Have you sat out here and wallowed in self-pity and blamed everybody else for your problems?
Now he appears to be somewhat bashful at that last bit, and he kind of looks down. And this is an old man, mind you. He's probably in his early 70s.
Yeah, I can see the picture.
Yeah, just zoom right in so that you have a good grasp of who you're talking to here. And he looks down. He looks kind of bashful.
Gandalf the Grey.
Exactly. Who's a refugee. And he looks down, pretty ashamed. You've struck a note, and he's feeling an upswell of shame. What would you recommend we do?
Well, for tonight, I'd recommend you chop up these carts and light fires around your camp so you don't get attacked by animals. And then tomorrow, during the light of day, since I'm sure my friend has gone in there and done a bunch of healing for you, perhaps the now healthy people could go out in the woods and cut down some trees and you can start defending yourselves and not waiting for Irina to come do it for you.
We have no axes. We have no tools.
Then I'll go in town and I'll buy you some axes. Maybe you should have left with a little more than you left with. Or should Irina have done that as well?
Good sir, you don't know what that journey was like. We buried many of our kind along the road.
I'm sorry for that. People bury people all the time. But in the end, you're sitting here, wallowing in pity, allowing yourselves to die. If this continues, none of you will be left, and whoever lives behind that wall could care less. You're all you have.
Go ahead and roll me...
Initiative. Got it.
Go ahead and roll
Just
me...
kill them!
You're taking... I feel like you're taking a bit of like a tough love sort of approach as opposed to this soft sort of approach.
Yes.
So roll me an intimidation check for me, please.
Wow, even with a -1 in charisma, I have a +1 in intimidation.
How's that fighter?
Intimidating guy.
6.
If you can get us axes and supplies, then perhaps we can do something about our situation. But you must understand, the ones who died on the road were the strong and the brave. The ones that are left are the weak and the sick. We will do what we can, but I can't promise you that we are as courageous or skilled as you and your compatriots. Okay, tough love delivered. So the old man wanders back into the tent and he kneels next to an older woman who's asleep. And this younger woman kind of wanders off.
She can swing an axe!
All right. You still in, Cora?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Sorry.
making sure you didn't disconnect on us.
I did briefly, like, I don't know what's going on with Discord. It's weird. It's been having problems lately.
Now, Mesker did mention that he had problems as well, so I wonder if maybe it's a Discord thing.
It is. It's been going on for like a week or so. I haven't been able to figure out what's causing it or how to fix it, but it'll like just drop you and then you'll like auto pop back in. And it happens both in Discord channels and in like private chat. So
Interesting.
I don't know.
Okay. So the gates to Vallaki are shut. The heavy wooden doors are framed with large reinforced towers constructed from wooden logs. This is but one gate that you can see. The wooden palisade extends to the north and to the southwest as far as your eyes can see. 2 guards stand guard to either side of the closed gate, a male and a female. They wear studded leather armor and have an assortment of plates, chain, and other bits of protective metal sewn into what appears to be a patchwork uniform. They appear to be alert and are observing their surroundings keenly. The female guard carries a unique-looking spear. The male guard has a sword belted to his side and carries a crossbow in his hands. A quiver full of mixed bolts hangs at his other hip.
The gate's closed.
They look at you as you approach. The gates are closed. They don't say anything.
The female guard can say, "We seek to enter."
You seek to enter Vallaki? All of you?
Yes.
And the female guard kind of looks over to the refugee camp. You are not with them, are you?
No.
Do we look like we're with them?
Drezek laughs.
And she looks at your guys' condition, your armaments, your clothing, and kind of shrugs her shoulders and says, "Yeah, that makes sense. You don't look like one of them. You don't smell as bad, that's for sure. If you want entry to Vallaki, you must provide your names in full." And she turns to the male guard, who produces what looks to be a small little notebook. And he sets his crossbow down, leans it up against the palisade wall, and produces what appears to be a small piece of charcoal. And he looks expectantly at the lot of you. Who's
My name
going
is Cora.
first?
My name is Cora Sunheart.
Cora Sunheart. Is that with a K or a C?
C.
Aha. Okay, just as I thought. And he scribbles something down in his notebook. Next.
Disconnected, reconnected.
Oh, it's so annoying.
I wonder if I can change our where we are.
I just. Did you do that to all of us, or was that me?
I changed the server for Discord to automatic, so it would choose the best possible server. So yeah, the guard goes next.
Mesker Gray.
Mesker Gray. Is that with an A or an E?
It's with an E.
E. And he's very carefully drawing the E with his charcoal.
Do you want my
Next.
horse's name?
Your horse has a name? Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Marigold.
Marigold. Like the flower?
Like the flower.
That is a pretty name.
Thank you.
He's a beautiful horse.
Next.
Drezek steps up and says, Drezek Jarastar, 4th son of House Hunet, but he says it in Drow.
Like, do you say like everything is in Drow?
Yes, the whole thing's in Drow.
Is your name Drezek like your native name, or is it like anglicized?
That's how it sounds in English. It's common too.
Buddy, just write down a bunch of Z's.
I'm gonna put you down for Drez. Is that okay?
That works.
Okay. Next.
Elanil.
Common spelling.
Enamel?
Sure, that works.
E-N-A-M. And he's writing something down. You have a last name?
No.
Okay. It's probably long-winded and difficult to spell anyways.
I'm doing you a favor.
Could be worse.
Really?
That's right. And Irina steps forward, and she very softly speaks her name. Irina Koliana of Barovia. And he kind of looks up briefly, kind of like with a glimmer of recognition, but doesn't say anything, and writes it down wordlessly. Okay, says the female guard. Next, I will need to see all of your teeth. Go ahead, open up, let me see your teeth.
May I ask why?
To prove you're not vampires.
Interesting.
What time is it, Dave?
That's great.
It's dusk, yeah. Now I will say that there is no sunlight in Barovia.
Yeah, that's true.
Not
Is
accounting
there
for their
moonlight?
intelligence score, but...
Marigold, show them your teeth.
This is not a joke. Come on now, let's see your teeth. We have our orders.
I'll lean forward to the female guard and open wide.
Okay, she nods her head, turns to Cora.
I will show my teeth.
She nods her head. Irina does the same, nods her head, turns to Drezek.
Does the same.
Perfect. Turns to Mesker.
Does the same.
Wonderful. And she looks to the male guard who is doing little check marks next to your guys' names. And now we must do the garlic test. And she turns around and she grabs a necklace, a string of garlic, and she passes it around all of you. Like she's like putting it up into your face and like moving it slowly up and down. Like she's almost like scanning you, but waiting for a reaction to see if you're going to react to the garlic. And she goes from person to person. This is to prove that they're not werewolves. She seems very like confident in what she's doing, like someone who's very learned and very scholarly almost. When she's done that, she's satisfied that you guys have not been repelled by the garlic. She returns that next to her little kind of pile of things off to the side, and then she nods to the male guard, who checks another check mark next to your names, and then finally the male guard says, "You must provide 1 gold piece as toll to enter the village. 1 gold piece each."
Is it like a deposit? Do we get it back? Or is this just like we pay a gold piece to enter the village?
It is a toll. Once you pay it, you can come and go as you please, but your first entry into Vallaki, it is to help maintain and pay for the defenses of the town. 1 gold piece. And he
Who
opens
does the
up
gold piece go to?
So he turns around and he takes what looks like a small coffer, like a chest, but it's like the size of I don't know, size of a bread box, and he opens it up, and there's some silver and some gold in there, and there's like a little bracelet in there, and he holds it out. It goes to the Baron, it goes to the town's finances.
What improvements can you show me? I'm interested. I'm so interested in the improvements.
I do not know these things. If you have questions, you may want to speak with my my commanding officer over at the barracks.
This tower? Is this tower an improvement?
That was built last summer. It's fine, is it not?
I don't know. Just trying to find improvements. Are your weapons improvements?
Do you want to go in the town or not?
1 gold
I'll
piece.
shoulder forward and pay my gold piece.
Where are we putting these gold pieces? Are we handing it to the guy?
It goes in the chest. He is opening up the coffer, so the coffer is open, and he's kind of holding it out for you to deposit your gold pieces.
Okay.
Is Drez gonna slide a hand to pick some of them up?
Yep. I'm gonna fake a gold piece deposit.
Before he
So
does
you're-
that, I will deposit a gold piece.
so you're not taking gold out. You're putting a fake one in.
No, I'm pretending to put one in, and if I can, I'm gonna try to take one out.
Okay, all right.
Of course.
I'm gonna use the. No, never mind.
Go ahead
Never
and
mind.
roll me a sleight of hand.
How much do I make?
You pull out 3 gold pieces.
So I will tell you what Libby wants to do, and I'll tell you what Cora's gonna do. Libby really wants to cast Minor Illusion and make a gold piece, but Cora's gonna just pay her gold piece.
Is minor illusion somatic, or can you just do that?
We look at it.
Like, does it require vocals? And I can't remember if it does or not.
Somatic and requires a bit of fleece.
Do you want to try it?
No, that's what Libby would do. Cora's just gonna put a gold piece in there.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so that's
This is the problem with me playing a
a good character.
lawful good character, is I can't yield to my base impulses.
So Irina steps forward, and she also places a single gold piece into the coffer, and then the female guard at this then speaks up, and then she says, "All of you must now surrender any silver pieces in your possession." And she actually adds, "Your coin purses must be physically inspected."
Well, I already have my coin purse out from the gold pieces, so I'll just total it open for her to look in.
She
Yeah.
looks in.
Same.
I imagine you guys have all removed your silver from your coin purses. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she's satisfied that she doesn't see any silver, and kind of nods her head to the male guard, who closes up the coffer, and then the female guard reaches forward and she pushes the gates open and gestures inside. And at the same time as the male guard, they both say in unison, "All will be well." So you
Wow, guys, get in here. It looks so improved.
As Drezek walks by the guard, he says to him, "You're a model of service there. Thank you for your time," and pats him on the back while he presses a silver piece into his palm.
You're pressing a silver piece into his palm?
We're supposed to
Drez.
forfeit the silver piece.
So he's going to look down at the silver piece and go, "Is this your only silver piece?"
I have no idea what you're talking about, and I walk through the gate.
Yeah. So he looks kind of confused at first, but then he actually pockets the silver. It does not go in the coffer.
There we go.
Okay, so you are in Vallaki. You pass
Nobody
from
says
the...
anything about the rat.
No, they did not. I thought about it. I'm like,
This
leave
little
it
tiny
alone.
halfling walks by, and then a rat just follows by.
No, I'm carrying the rat. It's like cat-sized for me. So proportionally
Did
is
they
very
check the rat's
large.
teeth? That's the question.
They did not. It could be a vampire rat.
Could be.
They did not.
Maybe
check
it's
the
a
rat.
werewolf rat.
Yeah. So you pass from the earthen road onto cobblestone streets, mud staining your boots and the bottoms of your pants. Behind you, the gates close with a slam, and you can see the guards resume their posts behind it. In the distance, you can see 2 other figures bearing pikes, patrolling the walls as they look down on the twisted forest beyond. The eaves of the buildings hang with old banners and tattered fabrics that flap and twist in the chill breeze. The banners are painted with faded words and illustrations, but time has robbed them of both their legibility and any beauty they may have once had. Flickering candlelight lingers behind the shuttered townhouse windows, and humanoid shadows move beyond closed curtains. Long shadows lurk in the alleyways where the grass grows long and twisted beneath the stained and sagging wood of the buildings above. The streets are empty, though you can see a single cloaked figure traveling away from you down the central road. In the distance, beyond the walls, a lone wolf howls, and a cold gust of wind cuts through the night like a knife. You can also see what appears to be, at the very end of this long road, a brighter building, and the distant sounds of what appears to be laughter and music. I believe the Blue Water Inn is down this road, towards the center of town, says Irina. It's a handy bird.
I forgot about the damn bird.
What happened to Muriel?
Muriel has been with you. She's been following, and she's going from roof to roof as well. I just didn't spawn her in, I forgot to, but she's with you. Kind of almost like following Vinrath.
How are the interactions between like Vinrath and Muriel? Do they like preen each other at all or anything?
I'm not sure if they're preening each other, but they seem to be at ease amongst each other. I don't think they're... Yeah, they're very amicable. Yeah.
Going the right way. I thought it was down in here.
Yeah, you're going the right way. It's a big
It's
city.
a long way.
A big
All right.
town, yeah. Jesus.
One improvement they could make is building an inn closer to the gate.
Never know what kind of charlatans you're letting just walk through your entire fucking town looking for the
It's
inns.
not much further.
I think we missed Arabelle's birthday. Oh, look at that. How did you do that?
The Witcher sound.
You guys get 10 XP for discovering a landmark.
I like the font. That's cool looking.
Gray smoke.
Is that part of Owlbear or?
It's Owlbear, yeah. So I imported a graphic and I did up the font, and then I made it so that it pops up when you guys get close to it.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Gray smoke issues from the chimney of this large two-story wooden building with a stone foundation and a sagging tile roof, upon which several ravens have perched. A painted wooden sign hanging above the main entrance depicts a blue waterfall. As you approach, Muriel, with her blue-tipped wings, takes flight, soars into the air before gracefully landing on the roof of the inn with the other perched ravens. And I should probably pull her out just that she's there, so you guys can see that she's there. There she is. Okay. Are you guys entering?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's having a difficult time spawning things in tonight, isn't it? There we go. You guys see that? Why don't we take a 10-minute break?
Oh, thank God, I'm so thirsty.
Yeah, I'm gonna get something to drink.
Right.
I typically bring things to drink to my desk with me.
I drank it already. Thank you, Mesker.
I sometimes mute
I don't have a
myself
bowl of water on the floor like you probably do.
and wander around while I'm listening and get my water.
This The dog jokes are going to be incessant, just so you know.
I can tell.
It's fun.
Okay, be right back. Back.
Dave, did you say you were back?
I am back, yes.
We are still outside of the inn, right?
That's right.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure we didn't walk into the inn with a horse.
No, it's kind of dark, but if you zoom in, you'll be able to see that it's a path, and you are outside, and like there's a tree here, and
Oh, yeah. Okay.
you see like a structure over here.
Is it an improved structure?
Yeah, it looks like maybe there's been some improvements made to it. Yeah, almost like your tax dollars at work.
Good, good. Pretty sure my tax dollars are in Drez's pocket, though.
Yeah, probably. It's funny. Do you remember how I fell into an Irish accent when we were playing
Yes.
one of our sessions? Yeah. So, the Canaan group, there's dwarves, and there's actually NPC dwarves as well because I'm trying to incorporate that into their story. And I had to speak as a dwarf on their session coming into Vallaki here. And I tried so hard to do a Scottish accent, but because I've been doing Romanian now for like the last like 4 months, that I could not stop slipping into Romanian. Like I became like Russian Romanian like mid sentence, and I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I used to be really good at Scottish, and now it's some rubbish.
They're from the deep western mountains, that's all.
That's right. They're Barovian dwarfs.
As the game master, you get to dictate what kind of dwarves they are. So
The problem with that is that I dictated that they were Scottish dwarfs, and I failed.
this is a different family branch.
Yeah, maybe he has a speech impediment. I don't know.
Funny.
you back, Drez?
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, I don't think we had our tick yet.
I don't know. Because it's not showing we had the tick, but it's showing that we're at war now if you pull up the system name on BGS.
Well, it should say pending, I believe.
Nope, it says war.
Let's see here.
It shows war as pending. Oh, pending states. Got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so
War,
we haven't
okay.
had our tick yet. Could still
Oh.
get. Yeah, we could
Still get hot with it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's late.
It should be any moment. In fact, it may have already happened, but it hasn't updated yet. Because
Okay.
it looks like last night it was at 21:26, which would be 20:26 your time. So that literally just like it could happen like right now, and we just haven't.
No, it is 21:10 my time. Right now.
My time local though, it happened at 21:26, so it happened at 8:26 last night. For you.
Yeah, and it is 9:10 for me right now.
So it could have
So
just
there's
happened.
no way it's gonna be that late, is it? I guess it could be.
But it may have happened and we just haven't seen it yet, right?
Oh, okay, got it.
And if we're not logged in to see the actual changes.
Oh, okay, because I'm not anywhere near Calicut right now either.
I think you need to like warp out of the system to actually see those changes refresh. The commodities market for like Rackham's will be instantaneous, but the actual like system status on the right panel, that one I think requires like a hard reset.
Oh, I'm just looking online. I'm not logged in. I'm logged in on Kez's account, but he's just sitting in Rackham's.
Has the price changed?
Nope.
Okay, no tick yet.
You would
Or
be
no
the second
holiday.
to know. I did find the key to doing ground missions, though.
Oh, we will have to discuss that.
Yes. I made a ground mission ship.
What?
I think we're just waiting on Cora.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Is
Sorry,
that
I've just been sitting here listening.
She was talking to us like 45 seconds ago, Dave.
I didn't hear that.
I didn't either.
I don't remember it.
Did you imagine
This
it?
week
Dave?
has been really bad.
Possible.
Like, I don't remember anything.
All right, so you are just outside the inn, as described. There is a structure to your right, and smoke kind of issuing from the chimney on top of the house. You can smell what appears to be food being cooked inside. It smells really good, and there is light in the windows, and you can hear soft laughter.
Is there a hitching post?
Down the door.
I'm gonna say that yeah, there would be a hitching post kind of along
Or
here.
stables. Is there
Well-
a stable for his lovely horse?
All right,
There might-
Marigold.
You don't see
You
a
don't have
stable.
anything. She doesn't have a bridle. Stand there and stay.
I mean, you could probably fashion a bridle with rope if you wanted to.
She'd have to give me permission to do that, Dave.
I mean, you have to ask permission to receive it.
Stay.
She kind of looks at you
Can I just
curiously.
say that Marigold looks at you like dismissively?
She looks at you curiously, like you're not sure if she understood you, but maybe she did. It's kind of weird. There's an interesting intelligence in her eyes.
You guys coming? I'm hungry.
I don't see my character.
Oh, I
Oh,
don't either.
you don't see your character?
Nope.
No.
Oh, I just lost my
I can
character.
see. I can
I
see
went in the
Irina
void!
and the horse is all
I see
see.
Irina. Yeah,
Come
on
on
the
in.
steps.
Pop.
There.
Oh, there I am.
I went in
There
the
you go.
void.
So as you enter, damp cloaks hang from pegs in the entrance portico. The tavern is packed with tables and chairs with narrow paths meandering between them. A bar stretches along one wall under a balcony that can be reached by a wooden staircase that hugs the north wall. Another balcony overhangs an entrance to the east. All the windows are fitted with thick shutters and crossbars. Lanterns, hanging above the bar and resting on the tables, bathe the room in a dull orange light and cast shadows upon the walls, most of which are adorned with wolf heads mounted on wooden plaques. Nearly a dozen Vallakians sit scattered across the various tables, nursing mugs of wine or bowls of hearty stew. Along the staircase, a colorfully dressed man wearing a feathered wide-brimmed hat gestures wildly at the head of a long table, holding the rapt attention of the several patrons sitting there. You hear a wave of laughter ripple through the group, followed by a smattering of light applause. A woman in front of you, as you're entering here, she appears to be sort of, just by looking at her, you know that she works there. And she appears to be waiting tables, and she's got a tray with 2 mugs on it with a dark liquid inside, and a bowl of what looks to be a red, kind of almost like a pink-red sort of soup. And she sees you as you walks in, and she welcomes you. Welcome to the Blue Water Inn. Please have a seat at the bar. I just have to drop these off. They'll be by in just a moment. And she kind of wanders off, and you can see her start to set some mugs and that bowl of red pinkish stew on the table in front of her.
Are there any empty tables?
So this is an empty table. That is an empty table. There's an empty table here. You can see what appears to be a young child hiding behind a chair over here. There's another one over here, another child. This is a full table over here. I should move my map so that is on the monitor. Yeah.
It's a lot of NPC portrait screen. I'm impressed.
Bing did all the work.
Wow, nice. Why don't we grab a table instead?
Because I was told to sit at the bar.
He told us to go to the bar, Drez.
That's why we sit at the table.
Cora does what she's told. She will go right to the bar with her rat.
Can somebody get Cora a stepladder so she can get on the stool, please?
She can climb. You watch her climb the stool.
Is Drez sitting at
It's
the
a little-
table all by himself?
Undignified.
With his feet up on one of the chairs.
So as you, the others of you, oh god, as the
I
others
can't see my
of
horse
you-
anymore.
Panic. As the rest of you approach the bar, a male exits the kitchen, and he is carrying a tray of fresh baked bread, what looks to be a hot stew, that pink stew, and 2 like freshly seared grilled steaks, and he sets the tray down on the bar. The food, after the day that you've had, and perhaps after the week that you've had, the food looks mouth-wateringly delicious. As you sit at the bar as well, you also spot 2 somber figures to the left of you. Their weathered faces sort of betray like an outside trade, an outside work. They spend a lot of their time out in the woods, and they are sipping their drinks in silence. They're wearing worn, rugged attire, leathers and sturdy clothing, and you can smell kind of like a scent of pine and iron kind of clinging to their clothes. On one of them you notice a bow that has notches on it, like he's counting something, and the other one has a cloak that has a patchwork of pelts stitched onto it in sort of like a growing, expanding pattern of pelts. And as you're taking this in, the barkeep over here, or one of the proprietors, turns to your group and he greets you warmly. Welcome to the Blue Water Inn, my friends. May you find warmth and comfort here. You have the look of travelers. Do you require rooms for the night?
We do.
And sort of as you reply, the woman returns, and she looks to the male, sort of with a wry look, and she says, sort of like in a hurried manner, "Are you offering to rent the rooms for free again, Erwin?" And Erwin kind of holds up his hands, sort of denying it cheerfully. There's kind of a smile on his face. And he says, "No, Danica, no, Danica." And Danica turns to the group of you at the bar, and she explains that Erwin had already let another of the guests that have arrived today to stay for free, and that if he would continue to do so, he would bankrupt the inn. And with his generosity, if she wasn't here to keep the books, the place would probably be sold already. And Erwin kind of looks to Danica and then looks to you guys, and he kind of shrugs his shoulders and says, "She speaks the truth. After all, why else did I marry you?" And Danica looks to him and says, "A rare instance of common sense, I imagine." And she pecks him on the cheek and then gestures over to the table in the corner. "The table by the window is getting hungry, my dear." And Erwin winks at the players, picks up the tray, and wanders off to the table by the corner. And you can see him deliver that food. Danica kind of resumes where Erwin was standing and looks to the line of you. And asks whether or not you're looking for room and board for the night.
Cora will say that yes, we're looking for rooms for the night.
A bed for the night costs 1 electrum piece, or 5 silvers. If you're looking for something to eat, the hot beef beet stew and fresh bread are offered at no additional charge. If you're looking for something a little bit more substantial, we also will offer a cooked wolf steak for an additional 5 silver pieces. And you recall the steaks that was on Erwin's tray, and I guess perhaps deduce that it was wolf.
Drezek calls out, "How are we supposed to pay in silvers if the guards are taking all the silver?"
They said electrum.
2 gold, or half a gold. I think that's what it says on the character sheet, at least.
Say that.
I had to look it up too.
Say that last bit again.
What bit?
What you had just
Oh,
said.
Drezek sarcastically yells out, "How are we supposed to pay 5 silver when the guards took all our silver?"
I guess you'll have to pay with electrum then. Or you're too stupid to hide your silver. So she goes on to explain that there are 3 rooms available. There is a large guest room with 4 beds, and 2 smaller guest rooms with 2 beds each. And they're all 3 of those rooms are available for rent. And a bed is 5 silver pieces, or 1 electrum. So you could also rent a whole room if you wanted to for yourself.
Yeah, why don't we? So how many people? How many rooms do we need for all 6 of us? Not including birds and horses and rats.
And on that note, too, she looks at the rat on Iris's or Cora's shoulder and shrieks. It's
not on my shoulder. I'm holding it like a cat. It is way too big to be on my
It's
shoulder,
even fucking
comparatively
worse.
speaking.
So she shrieks, and then her face goes white, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And then she sees Vinrath on the table beside Drez, and she looks over at the Drow. "You cannot have animals in here. First a monkey, and now a rat and a bird." And she kind of gestures.
Gray is my familiar. He's a magical creature.
"I don't care how magical your rat friend is. He can't be in here."
Drezek is just cackling with amusement at the whole thing.
There's a monkey in here. Can my horse come in?
We have
Where's the
stables for
monkey?
animals. That is where animals belong. The monkey was not allowed to be in here. That is the point. Can you please? And she's like gesturing for you to get rid of your rat.
I will not get rid of my rat. If I have to go sleep in the stable, I will sleep in the stable.
Then you can sleep in the stable, but your rat cannot be in here right now. There is food being served for the morning, Lord's sake, my lord.
Do
You can
not
tell that
take
she
my
does.
god in vain.
She
Like,
does.
and my pendant is on full display.
And then she looks at your pendant. You're actually saying that?
The don't take my god's name in vain. Yeah, for sure.
I will try, and she's now being respectful, to not take the Morning Lord's name in vain. If you would please have your rat stay elsewhere for the time being. We have comfortable stables. I heard something of a horse. I can certainly make arrangements for your animals to be well taken care of in safety, but you cannot have animals in the common room where there is food. I have
What about
other patrons to
unreliable
think
magic
of.
birds?
Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm taking my rat, and I'm just gonna go eat rations or whatever. I'm not eating. Not giving her any money.
I'd take her spot at the bar.
Okay, this is one problem dealt with. Can you please do something with the bird?
I'll catch Vinrath's eye and brain. I was gonna say ear, but and just send him a picture of Marigold, and he'll go back out and keep Marigold company.
Perfect.
Drezek whispers over to Elanil. You need to dismiss him every once in a while because that's how he gets stronger. But I'm not going to tell you how to run your bird.
He gets stronger when you dismiss him.
Yep. At least that's what I understood when I look over at Mesker. Found him.
I'll ask Mesker if he knows anything about the strength
No idea.
dismissal connection. All right.
Statue turned into a bird. I'm just as lost as you are.
I'll make a mental note to speak to Vinrath about that later.
So before anything else commences, I am going to nudge the guy on the shoulder next to me.
And he looks over at you and kind of grunts in a deep baritone.
Do you happen to chop wood?
For a living?
How much wood would you chop for me for 1 gold piece?
For 1 gold piece, I would chop wood all day.
Okay, so tomorrow, and I set my final gold piece down on the table, I would like you to go out to the forest and chop as much wood as you can and give it to those people in the tents outside.
The dirty refugees?
The dirty refugees.
And he kind of turns to his compatriot and turns back to Mesker and says, for 2 gold pieces, we both could cut some wood.
I don't have 2 gold pieces. Unfortunately, I had to pay a gold piece to come in here.
How much do you have?
I have a gold piece.
Yeah, gold will do. I will set out first thing tomorrow, and I will chop some wood.
So tomorrow evening, I will wander out and take a look at your work. Because I'm trusting you with this gold. We'll have a discussion if there's not much wood there. Because you just told me you could chop wood all day for a gold piece.
Can you say that last bit again?
What last bit? Where did I leave off? Or where'd you lose it?
I was just typing, so I didn't hear that last bit.
I just told him that I would go and check, and that we would be having a discussion if there wasn't much wood there, because he just told me he'd chop wood all day for a gold piece.
I'm sorry, can you say that again? I understood the words that you said, but for some reason I just didn't understand the greater sentence. Can you say it again?
So, okay. Tomorrow evening, Mesker's gonna go look at the wood that was chopped. And if he's not impressed with the wood that was chopped, he's gonna find this guy and kill him.
Okay, all right then. Yeah, he seems like
In the
he's
meantime, Drezek's ordering food and drink.
Okay. So she's just gonna stop you right there. She's gonna say, well, the food comes with lodgings. So if you're gonna pay for a room,
Yeah.
if you're gonna room, then that is free. But if you're not gonna stay, then she would charge for the.
We will take all 3 of your rooms.
Oh,
Drez, front my room.
Hmm?
Front my room, please.
Sure.
so that's 8 beds total.
Oh, we don't need 8 beds. We need 2 rooms then. We need 6
Yeah.
beds, right?
So it's 4
5
and,
beds actually.
4
No,
and 2.
because Cora's going to sleep in the barn.
We need the one big room.
Yeah, we'll take the one big room, and I'll go grab Cora and we'll bring her up, make her come upstairs.
She's not leaving her rat. So
So let's just pause for a second here. So if you don't leave your rat, you're gonna miss out on what's happening in the inn. And there are some things happening in the inn, and I don't want those things to happen and then have your character not be part of them or be privy to them. So
can I sneak
I
the
just-
rat in? Can I
She
sneak
just
the rat
didn't
in?
want the she just didn't want the rat in the common room. Once we get the room, you can go put Gray up in the room.
I'm just
Can't you
thinking
dismiss
of
and summon the rat back?
Yeah, if you want to pay me 10 gold pieces.
No, I believe you can unsummon it and resummon it. If it dies, you need to pay it.
I don't think so. Hold on, let me read the spell.
Because I think you can dismiss it.
Did I just pay gold to somebody I'm going to kill in 10 minutes?
I mean, you didn't even roll an
I will
insight
say
check to
that
see if he was a
Cora,
vagabond.
Cora was all ready to go stay with the refugees because she doesn't want anything to do with the lady who won't let her rat in the inn. But I don't want to like derail Crane's adventure either. As an action, you can temporarily dismiss the familiar to a pocket dimension. Alternatively, you can dismiss it forever. As an action, you can cause it to reappear. So it's not actually dismissing it, and it's dismissing it, but it's not like recasting it. If that makes sense.
That's correct. Yeah, you can basically just kind of send it away into nothingness and then pull it back as an action whenever you'd like.
Okay, we will do that. She is not happy about it.
How much are those steaks again?
5 silver pieces.
I thought we got him with the room.
No, that's the beet soup.
She nods to Mesker. Yeah, the soup and the bread is included. The wolf steaks are extra.
Drezek pulls out 20 silver, puts it on the bar, and says, "Wolf steaks for everybody."
That's 4 steaks.
Yeah, Cora's in the barn.
Oh, she's back.
Oh,
She's right next to
That
you.
being said, she doesn't want to give this lady any money, and she doesn't want anything to do with the food. She's maybe nibbling on some rations.
okay. 4
She's
steaks,
pissed.
please.
Cora's pissed.
And Drezek makes a show of using silver pieces.
Okay. So she takes the silver pieces and she tucks them aside. And then he drinks for the lot of you. Would you like to know what we have for drink?
Yes.
I'm just hungry.
So she tells you that there are 2 wines that they predominantly sell. One is called Purple Grape Mash number 3 for 3 coppers a pint, and Red Dragon Crush for 1 silver a pint.
What?
That's what it's called.
Is it sparkling?
I don't know. That is from the books. I was like Grape Crush, Red Dragon Crush, Orange Crush. It's from the books.
Do you have White Claw? Jesus.
Black Horse.
Yeah, I'll have the cheap wine.
Okay. Some Purple Grape
How much
Mash.
is this?
3 copper for the.
Jesus, I'm burning through money here.
Well, you Mr. Moneybags there, throwing silver on the board.
Well, I did steal 3 gold from the guards.
I was gonna say that's worth 30 silver.
Yeah.
I'll slap down 3 copper for a whatever it's called.
Not only is Drez a thief, he's a cheap thief.
Don't get Hunk started.
Please.
Okay, anybody else? Elanil, are you wanting to have anything to drink?
Yep. Buy the good wine. I think.
Okay,
Big
Red
spender.
Dragon Crush for 1 silver. So about this time, Erwin returns, and she actually turns to Erwin, and she relays your orders. And Erwin disappears back into the room there, the kitchen. You can smell that incredible smells coming from the kitchen as the door kind of swings open and then swings shut. And then Danica turns to the row of you, and she asks, "So where are you all from?"
I'm just gonna stare at the table.
Not here.
Yeah, Cora's angrily munching on her rations. She is not engaging.
You're a very talkative lot, eh? Well, okay then, that's fine. If you'd like to have a
Drezek
seat
tells her
over...
we're all from an area called Icewind Dale, and we're not here. We're not really here by choice, but I think that's a pretty common thing.
She nods her head and she gestures over to the male in the corner of the room, the flamboyantly dressed male, and kind of adds, "Your story is similar to him too. He apparently does not want to be here and yet finds himself here."
Who is he?
He calls himself Rectavio. He's got similar ears to you two, and she points to Elanil and to Drez. He's sort of like a minstrel that does not actually play any music, more of a storyteller than anything. Claims to be a carnival ringmaster from a distant land. He arrived this morning. He's the one with the monkey I talked about.
Hold on. Going through notes. What do we know about what Alanic or Van Richten looks like?
I don't know if any of that information has been relayed to you.
I don't think anything.
I
Other
thought
than
we
he
got
had a pet monkey.
description. Hold on a second.
We do know he had a pet monkey.
I think the only thing I'll let Cora dig up what she has, and then I'll tell you what I think I did relate to you.
I thought that the guy at the church gave us was telling us about him a bit.
Periwimple.
Yeah. Yeah, I took really shitty session notes that session. Yeah, my notes say he goes by Alanic Ray. He met him in the village, and he turned into Dr. Rudolph von Richten, and he had a pet monkey.
Has what's her name met him?
Oh, that's a good point. Irina.
Irina, hasn't she met him?
You could ask her.
Yeah, so I asked for Irina. I said, Irina, Alanic back in Barovia had a friend. Duro had a friend named Alanic who had a pet monkey. Could that be the same guy?
I remember there was a gentleman, Alanic. I believe he stayed. Yeah, he stayed at the mansion with my brother and I for a number of days. His name was Alanic. That's right. That was before all the issues with the castle.
Does that guy over there look like him?
She looks over and looks at the email in the corner. I have never seen that man before in my life. He's a finely dressed man, though.
There
Yeah,
is magic around disguising yourself, so
two pet
not
monkeys.
necessarily.
It's just not a confirmation. It's not a negative. It's just not a confirmation.
So what is this guy? What's this bard doing? Not bard. I'm sorry. I'm making an assumption. What is this
Storyteller.
inner storyteller doing? And what's his
Right.
name again?
Rictavio is what she told you. Rictavio.
Hold on. I have too many damn notes. There we go. Rictavian, and the guy's name is Baron von Richten. Okay.
Rictavio is his
Yeah.
name.
Got it. Okay.
And Rudolph van Richten, not Baron. I don't think he's a Baron.
Rudolph, sorry.
Could be.
So what's
I
he
mean,
doing now?
Maybe. So right now he appears to be telling a story. You can't really quite make out the words. It seems like it's the quiet part of a story, like maybe towards the end of it. And the 5 people sitting at the table, as well as the 2 young kids, like here and here, are like listening with like rapt attention as he tells this story.
Drezek will grab his glass of wine and move and take the seat over here, so he can better hear.
Yeah, it's a story about a nursemaid who found out that the baby that she was nursing for the last 6 weeks was actually a doppelganger, and it's getting to the last bit where the doppelganger is revealed as being the fake baby, and you can tell that just with your experience maybe being a little bit more worldly, you can tell that the table, they don't really quite even know what a doppelganger is, but they're listening nonetheless. Danica watches you kind of wander off, and then turns to the rest of the group. Is there any information you need about the town, or is there anything that I can assist you with here during your stay? Are you staying for multiple days or just for the one?
Probably a couple of days, but we'll see how things go.
I will hold the rooms for you anyways until I know more tomorrow. We don't really have too many travelers who stay in the rooms here. Most people are from around here. They don't need the rooms, so it is good to see the business.
Are there no empty spots in town for the refugees outside the gates?
I'm sure there's probably plenty of places for them to pitch a tent, if the Baron would allow it. But the Baron is... And then her voices get kind of low, and she almost says it with a whisper. A disagreeable person, if you understand me.
Has he had any direct contact with Strahd?
The Baron?
Mm-hmm.
Not that I know of. The Baron hates Strahd. Everything he does in town is to keep him away, I think. All these festivals that he has, every week there's a new festival, all aimed at warding evil from Vallaki.
Well,
kind of
there's
festivals?
evil.
Festival toward evil.
That is what he says. Some people believe it's true, and I don't know. There seems to be enough misery around here. Maybe not. But
Would
we
these
didn't.
festivals be considered, in his words, improvements?
I don't know what you mean by that, but last week was the Wolf's Head Jamboree, and this week it's the Festival of the Blazing Sun. And she almost says this kind of sarcastically. It apparently will be held in 5 days at the city square.
The Festival of the Blazing Sun, does that have to do with the Morning Lord?
Maybe. I think maybe you could interpret that. I know that there's always a desire to see the sun, and it's about the sun. As you can see with the clouds, we don't get to see much of the sun. Some of us have never seen the sun before. The Baron...
never seen the sun ever?
No one in Barovia has seen the sun, as far as I know.
Hmm.
And that wouldn't be unusual to you, just by you being here. You have not seen the sun since you've been here.
I have another question.
Out of character or in character?
In character.
Okay.
How long does it take to make a steak?
It should be
Did
out
you order
very...
it extra rare? Because it should be done by now.
It should be out momentarily. My husband, though, he gets a bit distracted sometimes. Would you like me
If
to
you
go
have any
check on
extra bones, I'm sure somebody on the end of the table. Oh no, you moved. If you got any extra bones, I'm sure some of these guys will eat it.
I'll go check on the steak. One moment. And she wanders away into the kitchen. While this is happening, there's this kind of lull as Rictavio finishes his story, and then he reaches down and he takes a long pull from his mug, and then he appears to be preparing another tale, and he kind of clears his throat and he begins. And let me just take a glass of water because this is a long one. 1 second. The vampire Count Belasco kept his coffin, not in a crypt or keep, but in the cellar of an old decrepit inn, which was managed by his servant, Igaron. Now, poor Count Belasco had a terrible secret. In his ancient age, his scalp was beginning to rot, you see, his hair falling out in great clumps and knots. Now, in his embarrassment, he commanded Igaron to purchase a beautiful raven black wig, hoping to preserve the handsome younger man that he had once been. A handsome man indeed, agreed one of his guests, an elderly, near-blind widow named Olivenka. One particular moonlit night, dear Olivenka kept to herself, spending her days sorting and resorting her late husband's rock collection, which she kept lovingly in her purse. Despite the Count's odd behavior and pale skin, she suspected nothing, her old vision too blurry to make out the fangs that poked down amidst his teeth. Now, as always, the Count felt an urge to feed upon her, and though her flattering words quelled his interest, he felt the thirst in his fangs all the same. "Igaron!" he boomed. "Fetch my coat. I'm going hunting." "Yes, sire," Igaron wheezed. As he returned, he whimpered, "Best be back before dawn, my lord. I'm cleaning the curtains tonight. I want you to be nice and safe in your coffin before sunrise." Now Count Belasco scoffed. "Fear not, simple Igaron," he boasted. "I know well the hour of my enemy. Not a thing could stir my spirit to linger beneath its dreadful rays." And so the Count departed. He lurked in alleyways and prowled across rooftops, yet he found not a single morsel to sate his thirst. It was with surprise that the hungry, defeated Count finally looked up to the velvet skies and saw the periwinkle gray of approaching morning. With panic, he flew through the streets. 4 blocks away, a streak of orange began to slice across the sky. 3 blocks away, 2 blocks away, and then the door to the inn slammed shut behind him. "Goodness," Olivenka said, yawning atop the staircase. "Have you been out all night?" In an eye blink, the Count's great silhouette towered far above her. "Yes," he growled, "but I've only just found what I'm looking for. Olivenka, I want to suck your blood." Now, ordinarily, one of Count Belasco's victims would scream, flee, or faint. Yet he had made one terrible mistake. He had forgotten that Olivenka's cataract-ridden eyes couldn't quite see his fangs. "You disgusting man!" Olivenka screeched, and whirled 18 years' worth of rare rocks and minerals directly towards his head. There was a terrible thud, and a terrible splintering of wood, and Count Belasco went tumbling down to the floor below. When he opened his eyes, he saw Olivenka staring in horror, not at him, not at his fangs, but at his head, his bare head. There, just beneath the eastern window, lay his beloved wig. He dove for it, claws outstretched, and a sliver of sunlight grazed across his skin. There was a sizzle, a hiss, a burst of smoke and flame. Olavenka, purse clutched to her chest, watched in awe as Count Belasco succumbed to the morning light, until all that remained was a smoldering heap of ash and a charred, smoking wig. Poor Olavenka never quite got over it, Rictavio concluded, his eyes twinkling. After all, it was quite the hair-raising experience. And the guests around the table, there's a mixture of boos and guffaws and applauds, and he takes an elaborate bow. And waves over in the direction of the bar, looking to make eye contact with Danica for another round of drinks. And at the sound of that applause, Danica emerges kind of from the kitchen, and as does Erwin, and she catches his eye, and she busies herself with fetching another round.
Drezek gives a delayed slow clap.
He turns to Drez and he bows his head and actually takes his hat off and sort of flourishes and puts it back on and says, "I'll thank you, good sir, good sir. I love a good slow clap." And Erwin starts depositing the food and drinks on the table in front of the others, and then he makes his way over to where Drez is after spotting him amongst the crowd, and also places the food and drink on his table.
And I motion towards the storyteller, say, "You must be parched after such a tale.
Oh, terribly parched, sir, terribly parched.
Join me for a drink. Let me buy you a drink."
Oh, how kind of you, sir. And then he quickly reaches over to his mug and drains it. It was clearly like almost full. And then he sits down at the table next to you.
And I motion to Erwin, "Another round for us, please."
Oh, but of course. And he kind of wanders away and back into the kitchen to deposit the tray and then back out again to grab some drinks.
Mesker eats immediately.
So, where are you from?
I'm from an area called Icewind Dale. Where are you from?
Oh, from all over. What part of Icewind Dale? The 10 towns, I presume?
The 10 towns exactly. You know it well.
Erwin returns and places one mug, because you already have one, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he places one mug of ale down and then kind of wanders back off into the kitchen. I've been all over Faerun, you see. I'm a sort of a man of the road.
Interesting. So that tale was amazing. How, where did you hear it?
Oh, it's a true story, I think. At least that's what was told me. But I think all good stories have elements of truth to them, don't you think?
I do, but to tell a story that elaborate with that much detail, you must know a lot about vampires.
Well, that's my trade to know things, and I think a good storyteller must practice. And if he wants to be a good storyteller, what is your trade? I'm sure whatever it is that you do, that you practice it to be good at it.
Oh, I'm a simple businessman.
A simple businessman. And he looks up and down and just sort of appraises your appearance. You have some interesting clothes to conduct business in.
There's all kinds of business.
Yes, I do believe there is all kinds of business, and he kind of winks his eyes, and he looks over at Mesker as Mesker approaches the table.
Drezek motions for him to pull a chair up.
Mesker ignores the bard. You gonna eat that?
No. Would you like it?
Takes it.
There's bone on there for you there. Good boy.
Your partner looks rather ravenous.
Yeah,
all right.
He's fine. That's just how he is. So how did you get from 10 towns to here?
Well, I imagine it's probably a similar story to yours. One minute I was camping in a very nice grove. It's a grove that I've used before, you see. Like, once you have a good campsite, you know where it is. You come back to it, mind you. And I woke up and I was surrounded by mist. And how about yourself? How did you come to be here?
Same way. I was on a caravan heading to Luskin from 10 towns, and we woke up here. Made our way through Barovia. Did you visit Barovia?
Barovia. That's a village to the south, isn't it? Yes, I seem to recall a ramshackle town of houses and dilapidated huts.
And so, what do you do other than tell wonderful stories?
I think you've just about seen it, haven't you?
Have you written any books that I might have read?
I'm working on a number of books, but they're not quite ready. Maybe one day.
Because we're looking for information. And I thought that given your knowledge of vampires from that incredible tale you told, I figured maybe you could give us some information.
And what kind of information are you looking for?
Maybe about vampires.
What would you like to know?
Well, there is we've got a book that was written by somebody who clearly knows nothing about vampires. It's horribly written, but it's the only thing we have. So I'm wondering if you could fill in the gaps. It was written by a complete hack and a shyster named Rudolf van Richten, and that's all we have to go on. And we know that most of it can't be true, so we're trying to find the truth.
You have to be very careful where you get your information. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and I can't pretend to be an expert. I can only tell, the information that I myself have learned in my travels.
So he didn't balk or falter or stumble when I mentioned Von Richten being a hack.
Roll me an insight check.
Elanil, are you gonna eat that?
I'll push it over to you and eat my soup.
So you see, it's a barely perceived grimace, if you will, but it is you see the mark of a professional. He very quickly covers it up.
Mm-hmm.
It would take a very perceptive eye in order to spot it, but you do spot that he does react in some fashion to your not so much your unkind words, but just the actual use of his name.
Okay. So I asked him, I said, would you be willing to sit with my friends and I and tell us everything you know about vampires, particularly about, I'm sure you know about this demon Strahd who rules this land.
And at the mention of Strahd, he leans forward. He's like, I'm not sure you're supposed to say his name. They get really uptight when you say his name.
So I lean forward and whisper, I go, Rudolph, we all know what we're dealing with here. We could use your help.
And he kind of looks at you and he says, my name is Rictavio. It's both ours, I get it, it's kind of confusing, but as a businessman you should understand that details are important.
Drezek gives him a nod, like, okay, I'll keep playing the game with you.
And I would love to entertain your friends about tales of vampires and of darker times, but I really must be going. And then as he says that, the table...
Can I hear this?
You guys can hear it. It's a very quiet the whole tavern can probably hear it.
Just going to very quietly lean down in and very, very quietly say, we're not looking for entertainment. We're looking to kill him.
And Rictavio seems to be very uncomfortable. You're looking to kill him? And he points at Drezek.
Someday,
Someday
maybe
you should slow head shake.
Someday, perhaps, but no. We're looking to kill. I can't believe I'm going to say this. He who should not be named.
That's good. That's like fantasy bingo. He kind of looks at both of you, and there is a look of like confusion and surprise, and he appears to be like genuinely confused at what's happening in front of him. And then he takes a moment to collect himself, and if he hasn't already, he drains his mug of wine, and he says, "Good sirs, I do appreciate what appears to be an overwhelming sense of honesty on your parts. But perhaps this is a discussion we can continue a little later. I've had a long day, and you appear to be very confused. Perhaps the sober light of day will have you come closer to your senses, if that makes sense.
Fair enough. Maybe we'll run into you tomorrow morning. Are you staying here at the inn?
Yes, I've booked the rooms, my room anyways, for as long as dear Danica will permit. I don't
Where's your
surmise I'll be
monkey?
leaving. My monkey is with God damn it, I'm trying to remember here.
When the
Stand by.
players ask the DM a question he hasn't prepared for.
Oh,
My name is Burger.
Yeah, stand by. Just a minute. Just a minute.
It's not that important.
No, I've got it. I've got my monkey is with Oh, you must mean Piccolo. Yes, dear Danica wouldn't let Piccolo stay in the inn, so I have him living with Blinsky, that chap that makes the dolls and things.
Also, one last question. Do you happen to know anything about werewolves?
I'm no more than any other man. You get bitten by one, you become a werewolf, you start to insatiably crave the tender morsels of raw flesh. You have a
Good to know.
wound.
Asking for a friend.
What a queer fellow. And with that, he stands up and he pushes his chair back in, and he sort of begins to make his goodbyes. And then as he's doing so, the two gentlemen over here kind of look over to Rectavio, and they kind of boo. And this gentleman here says, "We've heard the story about a stupid count." I'm referring to Count Belasco. "What about a stupid baron? Come on now, man, tell us another one." And as he says this about the stupid baron, the table right where he's sitting at goes silent, along with the rest of the tap room, because everyone can hear this. And many of the patrons turn to stare at the two finely dressed men. And Rictavio becomes sort of very seriously quiet, and the male that you had paid Mesker to cut wood sort of turns and eyes the man over here and says, "Best not, boy, best not." And then the fellow with the red waistcoat kind of mutters into his mug, "Cowards, the lot of you. Not a funny bone in your bodies." And with that, Rictavio turns to Drezek and kind of nods his head towards the bar. "Alas, my friends, but the day has been long and I must retire. Perhaps another day." And he turns and gives a look to the two young gentlemen and makes his way back upstairs. And then the ambient music returns.
Can you hear my slow claps on the microphone, or does it mute them?
It does mute them, unfortunately.
Oh, wow. I've been slow clapping a lot. That microphone's pretty good.
Hey, Irina.
Yes?
You gonna eat that?
And she's taken like one bite out of it. She clearly has had lots of wolf steak in her life and is not really eager to go diving into another one. And she very gingerly slides it over to you.
I will eat this one with my hands.
Yeah, so the oils and the fat of the wolf steak just gets on your hands. And you have a beard, so unless you're eating really carefully, there's like wolf drippings and whatnot in your beard as well.
Yep.
Drezek looks over and says, "Bad dog, bad dog."
And Erwin kind of emerges from. What is going on with my music here? There we go. Erwin emerges from the table,
Nope.
and he's got another
Back
tray.
off again.
Uh,
There we go.
there we go. Yep. Has another tray with a mug, and he kind of sets it onto the table next to the old man. And as he does so, he gets jostled, and the tray goes kind of flying up in the air, and the two mugs kind of like lift up off the tray, not tip, but like lift into the air. And I'm gonna need Drez and Cora to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Mine will be bad.
Damn. So,
I
yeah.
catch both mugs, do a backflip, end up on the bar, give the bartender a kiss, and steal 15 silver in one move.
I mean, yeah,
With that roll?
yeah. Oh, the roll like that. That was very impressive. How do you want to catch those mugs of ale? You can make it as spectacular as you want. You just can't give yourself gold or silver.
Oh, damn it. Okay. No, just very nonchalantly catch both mugs without spilling a drop, and catch and put them back on the tray, perfectly placed, and then grab the tray, while what's his name composes himself.
Yeah, Erwin is
Erwin.
caught off guard
Yeah.
by what has happened here, and Danica gasps watching the recovery. But Erwin turns to the young boy here, and he kind of speaks in like a low, sort of fatherly baritone. Brom and Bray Martikov, and both of them kind of snap to attention. What did your mother tell you about wearing those masks in the tap room? And as he says this, you're kind of drawn to the two kids, and they're both wearing painted like wooden clown masks. One of them is red and one of them is blue, and both boys, as Merwin says this, they both kind of slowly remove the masks from their faces, and you can see that their faces are both flushed. And Brom, the older one, kind of sheepishly responds, "We're not supposed to do it." And then Erwin kind of pipes up again, "And what did I tell you about running in the tap room?" And the two are pretty quiet, and then the younger one, Bray, kind of pipes up, "We're not supposed to do it." And then Erwin replies, "Exactly. You're supposed to be helping your mother with the glasses. Off you go." And then he kind of shoos them, and they run back behind the bar, kind of seeking refuge with their mother. And then Erwin kind of turns and then gives Drez sort of a thankful but kind of impressed look, and then places the two mugs of ale down on the table.
So I don't know if Elanil and Cora overheard the conversation, but if not, I tell them that the storyteller is probably the same person who was in Barovia and probably knows a good bit about Strahd and how we can and what his weaknesses are.
That'll be good information.
Yeah, we'll talk to him tomorrow.
So Danica is just kind of in front of you guys, not too far away, but she's looks like she's cleaning mugs, like polishing mugs and glasses and whatnot, and setting them away. It looks like the evening is slowly winding down. And if you had any questions for her, if there's any directions you wanted to ask, or if there's any landmarks or anything like that else about Vallaki, this would be your opportunity to quiz her on that. Otherwise, you get the impression that the inn is sort of slowly sort of closing for the night. Dishes are
So
being
I asked
kind
her
of put
where
away.
that we understand there's a toy maker in town
Blinsky's, yes, he's to the south.
to the south.
Yeah, just if you follow the road to the south and you keep left, you should see his sign. He's maybe two minute walk to the south.
And do you think he'll be open tomorrow for business?
I should be open shortly after first light, yes. If you have breakfast here and wander down, I'm sure you'll find him to be open.
Perfect. Thank you.
And the church. Irina is supposed to be delivered to the church. So, is there more than one church here?
Just the one church, the Church of St. Andrew's. If you're looking for the church, it's to the west. You stay on the road here and you take it almost all the way out of town, but before you get to the palisades, you'll see it on your right. It's a big stone building with a cemetery nearby.
You said you have stables?
Yes, we have stables right out back. You're the one with the horse, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, the stables is included in your room and board. We have simple food, oats, no apples, nothing's fancy, but we can certainly provide that to your mount.
Apples. Do I take her, or are you guys going to take care of that? She's out front.
I can certainly have Erwin stable her for you if you'd like.
Okay, I'll go have a talk with her. Not actually going to have the talk because you guys can't hear it.
No, I'm listening. I want to know what you're saying to her.
Telling her that some stranger's going to come take her to the stable.
She kind of, brays nervously and rests the weight of her head on your shoulder.
I'll be right upstairs.
She doesn't know what upstairs means, but she seems comforted by that.
I will be between the wall.
Doesn't seem to gain any more understanding, but seems comforted by that.
I'm going to teach you how to talk.
Erwin wanders outside and sort of
gets horribly attacked by a horse.
A little curious as to where the bridle and
And
the
a
saddle
raven.
is. Kind of relieved
And a
that he doesn't have
rat.
to. Yeah. Kind of relieved that he doesn't have to do any work with. She has a saddle though, doesn't she?
No.
What does she have on her?
I took everything off of her and left it. That's all back in Barovia.
Yeah, that's right. You did.
You remember that?
You did do that. Like she was saddled and everything from
Yep.
session 0.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay, so he collects he collects her and leads her back. He kind of eyes the raven. Is the raven just kind of at eye level?
Staring at her.
Yeah, eyes the raven.
Okay. I'm gonna ask Danica if there's anywhere or anyone in town that we should avoid.
Anywhere or anyone in town that you should
Uh-huh.
avoid?
Yeah, like there's unrest with the Baron and stuff, so like
She would tell you that anything to do with the Baron, you're gonna want to keep a low profile. That the Baron appears to be obsessed with warding away bad luck and evil, and he seems to think that these festivals is what's protecting Vallaki from Strahd. She never actually uses his name, mind you, calls him the devil. And that there's some disagreement in the town as to the direction it's going and the leadership that it's under. And as she says this, she kind of casts a glance over at the two young men sitting at the table by the stairs, but doesn't appear to feel comfortable saying more. She mentions that there's a Vistani camp to the southwest that if you don't want all of your valuables stolen, you should probably avoid.
So Vistani was southwest, the church was west, and Belinsky's was south.
Linsky's was south, that's right.
Has there been anyone else come through here that were strangers like we were?
Just the odd Rictavio over there. He arrived earlier this morning. Other than that, there hasn't been anyone through.
Yes, I will thank her for the information and hospitality and head up to the room.
Yeah, same.
So then she, if watching you guys leave, she would offer to escort you to the rooms and show you where they are. She would show you what appears to be 2 rooms. One room has 2 beds with nightstands, and one room has 4 beds, each with their own nightstand. The beds look comfortable. They're nothing fancy, but they certainly, are better than anything you've slept on, maybe with the exception of the Burgomaster's mansion in the last week. She offers to bring up a hot basin of water if you guys need to wash up, as well as any fresh linens or towels or cloths that you might need to get ready for bed.
Yep, we'll take those.
Perfect. And she'll actually lead you this way. So that way is to Rectavia's room, and then she'll lead you actually outside, right over here. You guys have.
I
your own
know that
entrance.
your rooms look suspiciously like stables.
Yeah, so that would lead you to your second room right there.
I don't see. Oh, did I take the wrong person?
I don't know, did you?
Apparently. What you doing?
Okay. All right, that's it. If you guys are going to be, is there anything you want to do or tell me that you're going to do before you guys get ready for bed and have a long rest?
Oh, but we get a full long rest, right?
Full long rest. This is the end of day 0. End of day 0. And just for chronology's sake, the Festival of the Blazing Sun begins in 5 days as of today, day 0. Arabelle's birthday is in
Day
2
2.
days, at the end of 2 days, yep. And this is the end of day 0 here in Vallaki.
I will say, as soon as I'm in my room and the lady has left, Gray is coming back out.
Absolutely. Gray pops into existence next to you. All right, guys, that's it for this session. That's all I have for you.
Well done. Your storyteller was phenomenal.
It's an interesting story, isn't it? I didn't write that.
Yeah.
That came with the module. And let me tell you that I was telling Dave earlier that on the other group, they have dwarves in this campaign. Like and I've actually inserted dwarf NPCs. And on that session, I was trying to make like Scottish accents for the dwarves, and I kept slipping into like Russian and Romanian. Like I could not do because I've been doing it so much, right?
Yeah.
And I had to practice to do the whole English ringmaster-esque flamboyant voice because I kept slipping into Romanian with that one as
Well,
well.
that was good.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
Drez is already back in Elite Dangerous.
I'm about to
I'm sure
join
he
him,
never
so-
shut it down. He's just